Good afternoon, everybody. Grandma Bev here with Life with Grandma Bev. And today, I'm going to share with you a little trip into a little town called Port Townsend, Washington. So I'll try to show you, we're coming up to the little town. One little bit of trivia about this town is the movie Officer and a Gentleman was actually shot in this town. So there's different little spots that I'll point out as I recognize them for you. In front of us is a red truck. So Port Townsend sits around the corner of where the Puget Sound and the Straits of Juan de Fuca meet. Go over here to the boats, the old boats. I haven't been here for several years, so I'm going to have to kind of refresh my mind as to what everything is, but you'll get the gist of it just seeing the video. When we come up around this curve here, we should start seeing a lot of the little town. Yeah.
Shit on the roof.
Now up here to the right was the little hotel that you saw Richard Gere and Deborah Winger and what is his name, David Keith stay. And then we passed it because it looks a lot different than it did back then.
They tore it down and put up a condo.
Oh, okay. Bob just said they tore it down and put up a condo. There's the ferry that goes over to Whidbey Island. Oh, it's going to stop here. So straight ahead of me is just, mainly the one street that's got the most buildings and little shops and things. Go.
Some neat old buildings.
So here's the cute little part of town. Kind of reminds me of our little town of Polesville, but it's a lot more to see. One of these buildings on the corner, it might be that one right there was when the gals parked down the road and they went into the bar, and that's where the guys got in a fight. Now, some of you may be young enough where you don't even remember the movie. So it's a real pretty view of the water out here. Nice eating area, wine tasting looks like. Or this could be it right there. There it is. It's a cute little town, and there's a lot of different houses going up in the hills that are real old houses. Now we're going to go over to an area called Fort Worden, and that's where all the sayings of when Richard Gere was in the what branch was he in? I don't remember. Do you?
The Navy.
The Navy. Okay.
But it's an Army base.
The Navy scenes. They use this Army base for a lot of the scenes. I'll show you the big hangar where they had the fight with the what was his name? Anyway, I'm going to turn this off for a little bit, and when we start pulling down into that little area, we'll come back on.
That's pretty.
We are coming up to the Fort Worden. We're going along the side. Let's see why it was such a pretty spot. Those were all like the captain's houses or whatever. Sorry.
It was officer housing.
Officer housing. We're on the back side of it.
Or something? The state owns it. You can rent them out. You know, homes.
Vacation stays and stuff, or
yeah,
permanent?
Vacation stays, not permanent.
And in those houses, they'll have like little groups can rent them out for their groups, like some Boy Scouts or things like that. Now we're going to turn into it. There's Fort Worden Conference Center. Up here on the left was the hangar used in the movie. Wasn't that it?
Yeah, but they tore it down and put it in a different building.
They tore it down, and now they've got another building in here. They have a lot of different, like, small theater type things. Oops, sorry, you got Bob's face in there.
It says camp area full.
Yeah. And all the different buildings you saw in the movie. Of course, out here is the field where they did a lot of their exercises.
You guys remember that movie?
Vaguely.
Officer and Gentleman?
Sure. Did you already say it? This is where they filmed Officer and a Gentleman. Yeah, we saw it probably within a few years of when it came out. So I don't remember how long ago that is.
Well, I know I was still married to my ex when I first saw it, and I've been with Bob 32 years.
Wow.
And we're going to turn, go down by the water. It's a little beach. You notice a little bit of conversation going on. We're taking our good friends Dave and Priscilla down to see the area, so once in a while we'll talk.
So this is all salt water, right?
Yes.
See, over here to the left is the camping area that we like. There's another one further up, but it's not down in the water like this is.
That's the restroom. I gotta go.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to go find a place.
Is it even open?
You want to jump out and I'll drive?
I was going to go drive in here so we can park.
Okay.
There's one over here.
Looks like you got another one.
We're looking for a restroom right now. He's talking about restrooms. I'm going to turn this off for a minute. While I'm waiting for the restroom, I'll show you the scene. That's the Straits of Juan de Fuca. It's a pretty day out today. A lot of times it can get kind of windy down here. So I'll be right back. We are coming up to the old lighthouse. It's called Point Wilson Light. It's run by the U.S. Coast Guard. You can't go in there, but you can just drive by it. Looks like they've made a horse out of. You can see it through there. And the driftwood. Kind of hard to see it. Turning in there.
Why should I?
We're taking this little loop around here where we'll see, what are those things called? Ordinances or what?
Yeah, old bunkers and
Old
stuff.
bunkers.
You can,
If you remember from the movie that I keep referring to, Richard Gere was running along those bunkers.
I don't know from here if you can see it. We have to go to the other. This is the beach.
We'll just drive through here. Go to another area that shows the bunkers better. I'll turn this back on when we get to an area to see something. We are turning into where the campground is. We've stayed here often in the past with our motorhome. One of our favorite spots, but it's very hard to get into. So you have to make the reservations like 9 months ahead of time at least. But they're pretty good sites, pretty, open sites. Of course, there's restrooms, showers. All the ones on the right are generally pull-throughs, and the ones in the center are back-ins.
Yeah, we've stayed in a lot of these.
You see the building in the distance, those are the bunkers. And you can go back in there and climb up inside of them. And it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of stairs and work, too. You see it back there. We've stayed, I think, in this spot.
I think we stayed in this one here, too.
Yeah.
Or no, maybe that one
We stayed in several. Stayed somewhere.
there. These are nice because then you got the private camp area behind you and you're right along the beach.
Sure.
Nice to have full hookups.
Mm-hmm.
See, there's a sign to go down to the beach. Like I say, it can get a little windy here, but it's still a beautiful park to stay in. I think we've stayed in this spot here. Or this one here, 44. These are all full hookups. So we just went around the loop and we're coming back out to go down there where we turned in. There's a couple out there staying in the old-fashioned way tents. I say old-fashioned in terms of myself. And if you go down that way, there's another round, loop you can go through. So we're coming back out to the main little road. And we'll take you back to see what they call the upper campground. And we'll come back on when we're up there.
Did it.
Okay, I have a correction. There's the old blimp hangar. When we first came in the park, and I called that one building the blimp hangar, I was incorrect. So here's the big blimp hangar. Where nowadays they have a lot of different shows, concerts, and things like that in there. And if you turn up here to the right, it's the upper campground. But everybody prefers to be down on the beach campground. But these are nice sites. We've stayed here too. So here we are. See, this is more of a treed campground.
Less wind up here.
Yeah, less wind, and yeah, spots are a little closer together. I think all these are back-ends, aren't they, honey?
I think so.
Yeah. Looks like they're building a new restroom.
Certainly much smaller.
Mm-hmm. We stayed here, we can't get anywhere else down there.
Yeah. You're gonna go around that way too.
Which way?
This. More camping down this road.
This looks a little tight for RV.
Oh, and here are the lower spots.
I think we were in one of these one time.
I think we've been along here. We were up here, I thought. Because that's where some down below us.
No, it's over here. Oh, yeah, I guess they do have some.
So it's a nice park to stay in, you know, if you can get in. It says the campground is full, but it must be in the middle of people going home and checking back in. Because right now here it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But like I say, I recommend the beach one if you can get in there first. Because then you're close to the bunkers where you can go run around. Make sure you bring flashlights. Kids like to run around screaming. You didn't hear the echoing. So now we're coming back out by the blimp hangar building. Bumpy road. And that'll do for a little tour of Fort Worden. It's run by the state now. We are coming back down into the little town. I'm not sure if we will find a place to park and get out and walk a little bit, but if we do, we'll come back on and we'll show you what we see. So hold on. Here's a cute little soda fountain. See down in there, it's all based in back in the 50s, 60s. They call it the Nifty 50s. I'm looking for a place to get some fun. And I'm pretty sure this was the corner building where they had the fight scene. It was a bar, and they parked down the street here, and they had the fight in the street.
Walk up there with the, whatever it is.
We're going to walk down this little street here. I'll move over this way so we don't get the bodies all in there in the picture. Looks like this might have been a way that a ferry or something could come off. This dock kind of looks like it. Well, this is nice back here. Got a big covered patio thing you can go sit out on. Looks like this goes around the whole building. Here's the back of that building. The water's pretty clear. Bob and our friends can see crabs just sitting down there in the bottom of the water. I don't know if you can hear all the gulls cawing in the background. I don't understand a word they're saying, but it must be important because they're sure talking up a storm. Now across the way, that landmass is Whidbey Island. You know, and that island's also a big naval facility. There's campgrounds over there, and of course a lot of housing. There's the covered area. I think I might be wrapping this up here because we're going to go back to the car in a minute. Didn't find any places with fudge in them, darn it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Kind of pieced together, but you know, it gives you an idea of another little town in our area. So I hope you're all having a good day, and I love you all. Bye.